Nothing there. Nothing underneath.
Yeah.
I
was going to say, you've all seen the pictures,
Yeah.
or hopefully you've not seen the pictures, because you can't unsee it if you saw them. Do you know what I mean?
So I think, obviously, that a lot of oversharing. That's
Yeah.
oversharing.
The very definition of oversharing.
How you doing? Welcome to T and J Take Over the World.
I'm T.
And I'm J.
Taking over your attention right away. This is a love takeover. We're T and J Love Takeover, taking over the world of relationships and development and human harmony, how you can live harmonious relationships with other people and yourself under God into a better tomorrow. That's a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot of words.
That's very motivational. Better tomorrow. We'll shorten it next time. But we're husband and wife. I'm obviously T, the husband, and you're...
I'm J, the wife, obviously.
Obviously. Well, you never know. It's 2025. You never know what's going on. Anyway.
Anyway.
So, we've been married. How long have we been together?
How long again?
You forgotten? Yes.
There'll be 21 years in June. 20 years.
21 years married.
Yeah.
Now we're all years together.
24.
About 24 years. Yeah, 24 years together.
24, yeah.
And 21 years married. So we know a couple of things. We've made mistakes. Plenty of them.
We're not experts, but we're very
We're
experienced.
not experts, but yeah. But yeah,
we know.
she said.
We know a thing or two.
We know a thing or two or
No.
three about this thing we called relationships and this thing called, developing and growing as a couple and as an individual whilst being entangled in a couple. Not like August.
No.
So, what is the topic today, Lady J?
Right, the topics is navigating social media as a couple.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it?
That's a big one.
Because so many people are on it. Couples are on it together all the time in their separate ways.
Sneaking away like that.
Posting pictures and doing all sorts of things. Reconnecting with exes.
No, you can't have my password.
Yeah, we did.
Secret exes.
Getting jealous.
Getting jealous. Third person in the marriage.
Oh dear.
You, me, and phone.
Oh dear. Yeah, so are we thinking...
No, this is your phone, not mine. Mine is away. See, I'm practicing what I preach. My phone is put away somewhere, so I'm not distracted when your phone...
But I need it because I've got some notes on there and it's not to look at. That's the only reason why I got it on here.
Okay, I'll let you off.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Let's do the show.
So, let's get stuck in.
I was looking at some stories the other day and I discovered a story about Steph and Ayesha Curry.
Okay.
Yeah. Husbands come first.
So what was the story? What's the main gist of it?
Well, the gist of the story is that she came out with Ayesha Curry has said that her husband comes before her kids.
Before her kids?
Yes. Before her kids. Her kids are priority over everything else.
As a husband, I must say, yay me, yay husbands.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she's had a lot of backlash from that.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's obviously in today's society, that's not going to be something that's going to be seen as popular. Because most people are happy with putting their kids before their husband. And
so what are people saying? What are people kicking?
Well, people said that how could you put your husband first? You birthed your sort of like. Well, when I read the story, they said stuff like someone even said, "Oh, so if you were to give a kidney away, would you give it to? If your husband needed a kidney, kids need a kidney, who would you give it to then? Would you give it to your kids or to your husband?"
That's a bit of a dark kind of.
Someone even said, "Well, I make sure my kids are fed first before my husband." But she said that Ayesha Curry has said that the reason why she puts her husband first is because it's a good foundation setting for her whole family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about her?
I totally agree because I put you first. I mean, to be fair,
I'm kidding.
I haven't always put you first. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I haven't always.
Yeah. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yeah, you've told me that as well, Jay. Remember me? Hello. Especially when we had our little one as the first child. You must have felt like you came second. I had to breastfeed for the night. Not all for the night, obviously, but I had to breastfeed. And then she was like in the middle of the bed, and you're thinking, "Hello, I'm here."
You think with that though, I think I was understanding because, a baby is a dependent.
Yeah.
So I'm not really going to be jealous too much over a baby. But in this and that, I think most people see when in this story, they're like, I know you've birthed our children. I'm a father, obviously, but you actually had your children going inside you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think? What is the main issue that women seem to have a problem with this?
I think that's definitely one of the issues, because at the end of the day, she didn't birth her husband, because that would be odd, right?
Yeah,
she birthed
it'd be odd if
carried them all for four
with
children, and she birthed all of them, and she had them in her womb. So people must feel like, how can you like put your husband first? These kids are because a lot of people, their kids are like they love them to the moon and back. They'll do anything for their kids.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my opinion is that Ayesha Curry, right? She isn't married to a husband. I mean, sorry, I'm saying she is husband. She did obviously birth her husband.
Yeah.
She birthed her kids. But people must be thinking, hang on a minute, how can you put your husband first? It doesn't make any sense, because they probably don't do that. They probably put their kids first. And that seems to be the norm these days, that the husband's going to come last and then the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, to be honest, I agree with her, because I married you. And at the end of the day, also as well, one day the kids are going to leave home.
Oh, they're going to bounce. Then
we're thinking, oh yeah, my mum and stuff. And the problem is with that, if you put your kids first and your husband last, when the kids leave home, then if you haven't bonded over all those years, you put your partner to the back burner, then what's going to happen to your relationship? That's the question.
That is a question.
Because that's a deal breaker, because you could either go separate ways or stay together and just live together just to put up with each other.
Well, I think you see a lot of couples make that decision to stay together for the sake of the kids.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking, well, we want to give them a stable home, which I get it. And that is very noble that you want for your children to grow up in a stable environment, especially if you grew up in a insecure one, that your parents weren't necessarily together. You want to feel like, actually, you want them to have what you never had, because you love your kids.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, is if you've made them the center of everything and you've neglected each other, as you said, the inevitability is that they're going to leave. And I've seen it where then the couples are like, well, we don't have any real reason to stay together. We've done our job. We've raised the kids.
As well, it's like I read another couple, 70 couple, that they don't make time for each other. And that's both of them making that decision as well. Where they've like both put their children first and themselves, each other, to the back burner. They don't do date nights and stuff like that. And the children are small. The problem is they could have problems in the long run. Because if you're in that routine anyway, you're so used to putting your children first that it's like you're never really gonna be not responsible, but like not ever putting each other first.
Yeah, and I think as well the children wise up pretty early to know that they can play off mum and dad because they're at the center.
Yeah,
they're the priority.
Yeah,
and I think ultimately it's a bad trend for them because they haven't seen a relationship modeled that is committed parents who really hold themselves on high value, because all they've been is the recipient of their parents putting them on a pedestal, not really because I think what's healthy is when you see your mum and dad love each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't say stuff about your mum because that's my woman. Don't diss her. And you saying no disrespect of that.
Children always demand the mum's attention. Remember when the kids were small, it's like mum. I was on the phone with him because I would have to hide to go and speak to someone on the phone.
Yeah.
They demand. Children are naturally selfish.
Yeah.
They don't care about anyone but themselves, so they demand. They'll say, I want food. They don't even say it to you. They won't even ask you. They'll be hungry.
Mum,
who they come to?
Mum.
Mum's a nurturer, isn't it? So you've got to make sure that your kids, set that boundary in the first place, because if not, your kids are just going to literally take over.
Yeah, they will.
Like they'll sleep
take over the world.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll sleep in your bed.
They will be at the center. So I think it sounds logical for women to think that's my baby. They were in my body. I've got a special, unique bond. But I do think that at the same time, and I'm a man, I know I'm talking as a man, so what do I know? Because I can't talk for women, but so I can guess I can understand it from a logical point of view. But at the same time, like you said, those kids are going to bounce.
They're going to bounce.
And you are left.
And then what do you have? You probably have no relationship then. May have, but it might just be superficial. Might just be out of, oh yeah, just he's there, yeah. But then you don't really have that relationship because you've not done stuff together. You've not spent time together, that quality time. You've not gone on, say, holiday together or planned the future together.
Yeah.
Had a conversation about politics or whatever you want to talk about, because the kids are always there. Your kids, you love your kids, but you still have to kind of like make your husband a priority. Anyway, I think that's enough of speaking about that.
Yeah, but you found there was
but I found a really good website, actually, a topic about couples. Yeah, about couple media roles, and I think it will really help the audience.
Okay, where's it from?
It's from the Independent, and I'm going to...
Oh, the good old British newspaper, Independent.
It's not that recent, but it still applies.
Okay.
Okay, checking your phone before bed. I think you do that, don't you?
Checking...
Okay, checking your phone before bed is bad for your sleep schedule anyway. There should be a certain time at night you turn it off.
Okay.
Ask before posting pictures. It's a nice thing to do in general, but especially when it comes to your significant other. You might have a different idea of what's acceptable for public. It's a nice thing to do in general, but especially when it comes to your significant other, it might have a different idea of what's acceptable for public consumption, or they just might not like the way they look in that photo. Play it safe and ask. So that's about ask before.
Okay.
What do you think of those so far?
So
ask before posting pictures.
Yeah.
And the check-in before bed. Those are ones I read anyway.
Checking in with each other.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that it just should be common courtesy to ask permission before you post, especially because it's your personal business. I might consent for you taking a picture in the moment, but I haven't necessarily consented for all and sundry for the whole world, the entire network online, to see me in my, I don't know, my mankini. Not that I have one or anything like that, but see me goofing around. And people have gotten the sack at work because they were at a party, a bar, acting a bit foolish or whatever, and someone's taken a picture, and that circulated. And even though it wasn't something they did criminal, it wasn't something that was a good look for the company, and he got sacked. And I think there's times when maybe I might think, you know, as a husband, like, oh, that's a really, I don't know, sexy picture of my woman. Not that, and let me put that up. Not that I would, but I mean, like,
it's fun, yeah. No, you put up nice pictures, the modelling ones you put up, and because he's a photographer, so he's posted a lot of pictures. But actually, I've been always fine with it because I've been sitting near you and you've actually posted the pictures anyway, most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's never been any picture where but I'm just imagining a picture where it was maybe on holiday and say, you know, you're supposed to in a bikini and or doing something, and you've put that out there, and it may be innocently done, but it's just not an appropriate picture. And I think the big issue is, was there consent? It's that simple. Was there consent? Because what I feel, it's a harmless picture, isn't really the point. The point is, what did you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you've never done that anyway, in terms of like just posted something that's like, for instance, in my bikini or anything like that. I've always been fine in terms of like what we posted. Yeah. Because it's been holiday pictures. So it's been fine. Like we went to Greece the first time, I think we posted pictures. Yeah. But that's been nothing that's been inappropriate anyway. It's not like I wore I just had.
Yeah, we used common sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's nothing. Okay, this one's, let me read it. Dates, no phone zone. Date nights are for spending time with your partner, not your thousands of friends and followers. Keep phones off silent, as well as out of sight, to resist the temptation of scrolling through your phone. Do you think you are guilty?
I think you are.
I don't think I'm guilty of that because I don't do that. I think you do that. You do that all the time.
You're saying you don't do the whole looking through your phone and being preoccupied?
Not as much as you do.
Yeah, it's not the point, though, is it?
No, you
do
do
you?
that.
You do it.
Okay, tell me that instance then that I've done that circumstance where I've just been on my phone scrolling, sitting it.
Well, I can't exactly remember like a specific. It was the 19th from such and such back in time. I think a journal.
I did say that I meant you've done that more. I'm sure you've done that more than I have. Like been on Facebook, chim 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 chim.
Well, you go chim 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 chim. What? I literally go chim chim chim.
No, chimping is to do.
I taught you that.
Tell me what
it's a photographer.
Yeah.
Photographer as well. It's a photographer term for when you're just constantly looking at the back of the LCD screen, going through the pictures, chimping. You're like a chimpanzee with a stick or whatever. But it's the idea, that I think ultimately it has become the third wheel in a relationship, isn't it? It's like the idea of the phone is a character in the household itself.
Yeah, it's become like I find that it's come like, it's what I see it like the phones, you know, like the Matrix.
Yeah.
You're plugged into this Matrix, and once people all plugged in, they can't get out of it.
They're trapped.
It sounds like they're in a trance or something. Like if you go on the tube these days,
and it goes like that.
Everyone's plugged to the Matrix. Everyone is plugged into the Matrix on the tube.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, no one talks to
each other.
It's just like...
And that's the problem. Imagine we're on a date night, and then you're just on the phone, and I'm just trying to say, how are you? You're on a date night. It's like you're on a date night with
we've been on a date night and you're just on your phone.
When?
We went out and stuff. We went, we went to somewhere to drink and talking and stuff, and you just be like,
When? When was that?
When? I don't keep dates on a date night. I don't keep date night dates.
Stories, mate. You make it.
Yeah, but I think the main point is that, because obviously you can check out the article, independent.co.uk, put social media rules every couple should follow. I think the main point is social media has become an intrusive part of 21st century relationships. When we started out, we were using payphones.
Oh, yeah.
We just about had a mobile phone. And remember? Just about had a mobile phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember calling because long distance. I remember going to the phone, going to the payphone and dialing up and calling you.
Mm-hmm. And
then I had a pager, so we paged each other like.
I never had a pager, yeah.
Well, I had a pager because I was a bit more flowing with cash than anyone, I think so.
Hey.
But when we met up, there was no choice but to, in the early 2000s, but to talk.
Because people didn't have these mobile phones, which it's made people so antisocial. It's made couples so antisocial with each other. Because how can you be on a date or even sitting in your living room, and then one person's on the phone, the other one's just on this trance and
a trance like that.
On X, on Facebook. What's so special about these social media?
I think what it is we just feel connected. It's the machines, the rise of the machines.
That's the whole gender.
We are all in the Matrix. We need a Morpheus to come set us free. And even now, people dating machines now, aren't they? I mean, they're buying.
Weird.
You got an AI girlfriend or boyfriend.
That's odd.
Very weird. Like in Japan or something.
So who do you feel that's on the? Who do you think's more plugged in than the other on these stations?
Out of the two of us?
Yeah, I think you are. You
think so?
Distracted, yeah. You get really distracted. Say for X. I think recently you've had to unplug.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that you.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Because I can do that Facebook for a week.
Yeah, I don't go Facebook too much anymore.
Really? Because someone we know anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the difference with Facebook, when we used to go on Facebook, it was like, it's everyone you know, it's your friends, and you see their business, and then it gets boring.
Yeah.
With like Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, you go on to explore what other people are doing and saying and talking about, and then you can get drawn into these conversations or conversation with like rants and arguments.
Yeah.
But know at least what people think about stuff. So, but I think in a relationship, you should be more caring about what's going on in your world,
absolutely,
your life together. When you're, organising a date night, maybe that's old.
What's the point of going on a date night then if you're just gonna be on your phone? You might just be just sitting in your living room.
Yeah.
Netflix.
So let's just run through them. What's it say then? Just in brief, no phone. Yeah. Good luck with that. Ask before posting pictures. Don't be a violation. Don't follow your ex's accounts. Yeah.
Oh, we don't do that.
Big no. Don't like your ex's photos either.
That would be.
Yeah. No. Don't do that. Take everything with a grain of salt. And they are the rules.
Yeah, that is it.
Next story.
Yeah, so the next story is a big...
Moved on. We exhausted that one.
No, this next one was actually an interesting one.
Who it is?
Yeah, Megan Good and Jonathan Majors.
Okay. Good actors.
Yeah, good old actors. And the story is this story specifically is about the time when Megan Good stated that Jonathan Majors was sitting on her mum's lap.
Oh.
And the internet went wild.
Went wild, did it?
Yeah. They were like saying that's a bit weird that he's sitting on her mum's lap. And she was like, she said, that's the best place. That's my place, which is weird because it's like, why would you even say that on social media? Why would you say that on someone's podcast about him sitting on your mum's lap? Really strange.
I mean, I thought it was sweet and endearing that he kind of was all affectionate and lovey-dovey with her mum.
I mean, would you sit on my mum's lap?
No, it's not that kind of party.
It's not that kind of party. It's also boundary setting really with a couple.
So why do you think people were so upset about it?
Because I think people are upset about it because it's not normal to sit on someone's lap, to sit on your mother-in-law to be's lap.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, if anything, you'll be sitting on her lap, not on mum's lap.
Yeah.
And maybe as well because Megan Good wasn't there. Thought, oh yeah, the mum was like, this is like Megan Good's lap, so maybe that's why it's on it. I don't know, but it's just weird how you'd sit on it.
Maybe it was a good position to be on.
Or maybe he didn't have his mum around or something. It was like, yeah, I got it. Or maybe it's because like she wasn't there. He thought
she'll do.
Take her.
Her mum will do. Can't find Megan on.
It's a bit weird how she was okay with that. Because if that was me,
yeah,
I'd be like.
But why is it me the advocate? Why is it weird? Why were people upset about it? End of the day, don't you want your husband to be or your fella to have a close relationship with your mum? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you don't need to have a close relationship by sitting on the mother-in-law's lap. You don't need to be close like that. You could be like sitting opposite on the table.
But what's wrong with it?
For me, it's just too close. It's too intimate. Sitting on someone's lap is a very intimate thing. And it's just inappropriate. Yeah, it's actually inappropriate to sit on your mother-in-law's lap.
Or potential mother-in-law.
Because I know that the dad, he sits in his garage. It says, he sits in his garage and he cuts his hair. That's one thing. That's fine. Also, what's the dad saying?
He said, "Go on, son."
Dad, I'm okay with like.
Saves me having to do it.
My future son-in-law sitting on your lap. Wifey, that's all right.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd, the dynamics, but I guess every culture has their own dynamics, and
it could be a cultural thing.
Like say Nigerian culture, you wouldn't.
Oh no!
That would be
No. You'd be, what you doing now? What you think you're doing?
And it's just be seen as like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Not honourable.
Yeah. He would be going on the floor on his knees at her lap, not on the lap, but adjacent, like, mummy.
So I think this goes into like segues into maybe not to share. You don't need to share all your home life or your
perfect example of unnecessary maybe oversharing. Because that's the thing. I think with all the stuff that it's not really about Jonathan Majors and Megan Good as much as the brouhaha on the internet when this story popped a week or so ago over it. I think with the bad press he's been having, he has had a very difficult time. We won't go into it, but related to situations of his former relationship, just being kind of skirting around details. He had very bad press. It cost him an epic role in the Marvel universe. He was supposed to be the big bad in the new Marvel Avengers film and stuff like that. I would have thought that the last thing he needs is any kind of negative press or stories, even though this isn't a major one. I just feel like, do you feel a bit surprised that Meghan felt like the need to share this?
Maybe she just wanted to just share some like light-hearted thing about Jonathan Majors, another side of him, because he's had all that bad press. Maybe she's thinking, actually, this is another side to the one.
A soft kitten side.
Yeah, the one that she wanted to show a light-hearted side to her.
Not a remotely weird, who does that kind of vibe.
Yeah, but there were some people saying, although saying that, there were some people saying to that story, actually, yeah, that's nice that she shared that, because that's that's another side to Jonathan Majors, and it just shows how close their family is. The fact that the mum obviously really loves Jonathan Majors, future. Why did
Come sit on my lap.
It just shows that their family dynamics. Maybe they're close. Some people are like that.
Yeah,
they're huggy family and those.
I guess my issue is, did they really need to?
She didn't need to say anything
to disclose that.
And I think it goes back to the boundary thing. The question is, did she actually ask him, is it okay to even share that?
Yeah, don't know she did.
Because for you, I wouldn't go on social media and say something that I haven't discussed with you before.
Yeah. And it weren't social media. It was
she went on a podcast.
She went on a podcast that was broadcast to thousands, and maybe all of that.
She did. Yeah, because the guy was asking, how are the parents taking in Jonathan Majors, how have they warmed him, that sort of thing. And that's when she said that. I think the part that got the backup was that it's just sitting on the lap. But once she said that, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously she added to that, that's her, that's my play. That's my lap as well, that's all.
So she's not only talking about the fact that he was somewhere that some people might think he probably shouldn't be parking himself, but she's doubled down on it in good humour, saying, well, that's my place.
Yeah.
So help the brother out, man. Help brother out.
So I think the morals of the story is that think before you definitely share. Yeah, don't overshare. Maybe not so in your mother-in-law's lap.
Or do it if that's your thing and it's all you're all consenting. Look, you're all consenting adults.
Absolutely.
Just maybe think about the consequences of how people will perceive your relationship when you put it on blast like that. Because for some people, it's, that's really sweet. Some people, that's weird.
Very strange.
I'm a bit indifferent. I'm like, meh, I'm not bothered. Let them do what they want. That's their life. I feel like I do wonder what it would be like to have a relationship with my mother-in-law where I'd feel comfortable.
That's very
like, what's the next thing? Kind of like cozying up, by the chest,
breastfeeding.
Oh, right. Let's keep it PG-13, Jay. That was a bit too far.
All right.
Keep your mind.
That just came out.
Yeah, keep your mind out the gutter, please. That was a bit too far. But yeah, as you were saying, leading on to this oversharing.
Yeah.
That probably leads us to
that segues into navigating the social media as a couple. Which is our main topic.
Yeah.
For the podcast. Been definitely inspired by the Kanye and Bianca.
Yes. Who may be their full names?
Kanye West, Bianca Sensori. And
because we're not their mates, you have to be kind of.
It's not really their mates, don't it? It feels like especially Kanye, it feels like I've known
if I was his friend, I would maybe bit of an intervention. Maybe I'd sort of because they mate. Can you not
keep
stuff up on
that ranting?
Dictators from the 1940s, signs up on your post and all that.
Yeah, I mean, this story about Kanye and Bianca, obviously, I'm sure people know about. This specific story was about he was going on and on because he didn't get invited to Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird because I read part of the story and it said about how he was, number one, he was nominated. It's like if you're nominated for
a Grammy.
Yeah, he's nominated for a Grammy, but they didn't invite him.
It's a bit weird.
So he had to, I think he spent like 5 hours trying to get invited to the Grammys.
Okay, so then went on a rant about it on social media.
Then the only thing they invited him was the red carpet. And obviously that's when the whole Bianca had like a dress on that was pretty much nothing there. Nothing underneath.
Yeah.
I
can say you've all seen the pictures, or hopefully you've not seen the pictures because you can't unsee it if you saw them. Do you know what I mean?
So I think obviously that a lot of oversharing. That's
Yeah.
oversharing.
The very definition of oversharing
Definitely.
in this situation.
But that I think that goes into basic the oversharing thing, the privacy, definitely, of his wife. But
Essentially, it's like she showed up naked,
yeah,
and he's standing there like,
it's
hello.
almost like he's presenting his gift.
Introducing my naked wife.
Listen, sorry, here she is.
Yeah.
Take your coat off, and
Yeah.
like, and then she doesn't even look totally happy, does she?
Well,
Embarrassed.
well, no, I think it was this part of the, models are meant to give that look where they're like kind of just,
Yeah.
like they're not there.
But then again, that goes into boundaries. That, for me, that oversteps the boundaries of, aren't you supposed to, if you're with your spouse, you're supposed to kind of like be protective of them, especially in the public. And obviously, they're in the limelight. Everyone knows who Kanye West is. Everyone's starting to know who Bianca is now because of her being with Kanye West.
I do want to make it clear that we were inspired by this story, but we're not really talking about Kanye and Bianca.
No, of course.
Because number one, we don't know them. Number two, it's kind of like, how does that help me, you? But I do think there's something about the discussion of the aspects of your relationship you want to share. Because some people are assuming that she doesn't want to do it and he's forcing her to.
So yeah, we want to set, in terms of a couple, it's good to set those boundaries, discuss what aspects of relationship to share online so that you're on the same page, sort of thing.
Okay.
Because it's like, for instance, me and you won't go and share something that I don't know about you because you want to keep my privacy. You don't want to share to the world too much of your relationship online. You want to be in agreement, have that conversation to be like, okay, do you think it's good to share? What part of aspects of our relationship do you want us to share with the world? Because once that's out there, then it stays there.
Yeah, like wildfire.
Yeah, exactly. Like the fires. So it's like, I think for me, the argument is to not overshare. Again, not to overshare, to keep something back. But at the end of the day, also, every relationship's different. And you, the same thing you post on social media, you've got to know what you're comfortable with as well.
Okay.
Are you comfortable with sharing certain pictures or videos, or maybe something you said online that you've maybe think, I don't want to do that?
Yeah.
She be happy with me sharing that, or are we both happy with if we're doing a video together? Like, we don't know.
Yeah, I think whichever the case is, it's got to be a consensual thing. You've got to both be willing to put yourself out there as a couple. Like, we do this together. We do this show. We talk about relationships and our own and share our personal business. But we have agreed certain boundaries before we press record, because I'm not going to say something very deeply personal about what we do. And you're like, what? Number one, you can edit it out before we post it. It's not a live stream, so it can be edited out anyway.
Yeah.
But number two, it doesn't make sense to not be in agreement, because the whole point is we're putting ourselves out there as a team. You agree?
Exactly. Yeah, because also if you're a team and you're together, you have to speak to each other about it anyway. You can't just do it, because that's, number one, is disrespectful, and you're not going to be on the same page. And also, further down the line, that can start causing resentment, and then you could end up mashing up that relationship.
Yeah.
You have to go into therapy anyway. So it's not really worth your while, is it?
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Overstepping that boundary and just sharing stuff or just blurting your mouth out.
It's going
you know what I mean? Saying things you're not supposed to say. Obviously, if it's like a live one, then you can't edit that out. If it's something that's like we do now, you can. So just be careful what you're posting and have that conversation.
Gotcha.
Okay, I think next thing is definitely think before posting. Avoid impulsive social media updates that could harm your relationship or reputation. Sure. Because I think that just think before you speak. Just think before you press the button, because once you press send, you can delete stuff, but it's already...
Most of the time it's already out there.
Yeah, but you can take off. But by then, people
damage to be done.
Yeah.
And if you post something, especially if it's quite racy or salacious, other people can screen grab it or keep it. And though you may have deleted it, you've had a problem. We're watching a show on in here in the UK about a celebrity star, reality TV star who'd been on Love Island, who got with another reality star, and he secretly filmed them being intimate against her will, and he put it on OnlyFans, his OnlyFans account, and to make money. And then she found out, she was mortified, took him to court.
Yes.
But the damage had been done, because even though he took it down, it found itself on a ton of international pornography. I can't say the P word because it's a family show, but on loads of adult sites.
Yeah.
And she made a documentary trying to go around and get them removed off of the sites and the hubs. Devastating.
It is devastating for her, because it's like she was trying to go around trying to scrub it out. Get rid of it. Everywhere she looked, it was still there. And can you imagine she lost a lot of work through that, because the company was seeing her in a certain aspect.
Yeah.
From him at the same time making money. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. But it's like she's unfortunate. She's not making the money she wants because of that. It's ruined her character and everything. And it ruined her chance of getting more work.
Well, it's damaged her because she was involuntarily in a we can say that word, porn film, an adult movie of sorts.
Yeah.
And it was against her will. And something was deeply, deeply, deeply private had been made global access to. I think it'd been watched several million times.
Yeah.
Which is bad. And that goes obviously into the concept of respect your partner's privacy.
Yeah.
You know, ensure that both parties are comfortable with any shared content. You know, I don't personally think she didn't know, I don't think you should be filming anything deeply personal, because they call the term revenge porn.
Yeah.
When you break up with some dude or a woman and they've filmed it, even if it was consenting, if they have the masters, they can put things out there as revenge on you, because they're hurt that you split up or they've got unresolved issues with you. And I think that's the danger of the internet now, that the whole world could see you in a way you don't want.
Yeah, I think that goes back to respect, because I think if you respect your partner's privacy and you love your partner, you wouldn't do that. Someone to do that, I think it's very malicious. Because look how that's bitten that girl now, that woman now. It's come back to bite her. She didn't know that until further down the line. It's really bad. It's really important to have that respect for your person and to ensure that they,
1 second.
So I think that it's really important, out of respect, that the person isn't going to do that. Who you're with is not going to do that, and to not do that to them, because I think it's really bad, and that can cause harm, resentment. Obviously, you're going to end up breaking up with that person, because how can you even get away with that?
Yeah, I hear that, and I mean, but then that's the stuff that is against, say, a partner's will, like disclosing private pictures or video. But then there's the content that you knew was being put out there, say a certain racy photo, like in Bianca Censori, Kanye's wife's situation, her wearing that barely their new dress. They were conscious of that. It wasn't like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? It was very much, we're doing this. It was like, ta-da.
Yeah.
So I think that some would say that's called creating a viral moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely creating a viral moment. But is it needed, the viral moment? Because once you have the viral moment like that, you can't create that again. That's just like a one-off thing. There's no need. Just create a viral moment offline.
Yeah, between you.
Yeah, exactly. You can just keep creating new ones. You have to share it with the world.
So maybe I think,
what do you get out of it? What do I get out of it?
Well, it's this whole idea of wanting, a lot of couples do this, they want to show the world what their relationship is. They want to kind of like parade it. For some guys, it's showing they've got this beautiful woman that is desired by men, and they kind of get off on that.
Yeah, why though? Why do you need to share that? Why would you get off that? What's that going to do to the person and your relationship? Because that can cause.
I know, I'm not one of those guys. I'm married to a muggle. Only joking.
And then if you break up with that person, you're very likely, if you're someone that does that, likes to do those things, it's likely that could happen again to someone else in another relationship.
What do you mean?
If you do that, say for instance you share stuff like that online, but you want to create that viral moment online with your person or both of you, you both might end up going into relationships again and doing the same thing. What if that person doesn't want to do that? In terms of like, you might say, oh, let's post these pictures or post this video, and make it like really big on Facebook, Instagram or something, and then that may cause harm to that relationship and it breaks down. Or you might have to go to therapy, whatever. But then you might end. Then you go to because you haven't dealt with those issues. Then bringing it into another relationship. And then the cycle keeps going on.
Well, I guess that's where discussing comfort levels between yourselves. Like, what are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable? Like, we used to take some pictures. I'm a photographer, but I obviously never took pictures against your will. We're always like, oh, we're going to take a picture. Obviously, you were my muse, my test model a lot with portrait photography, stuff like that. And I put a picture on social media and you get really great feedback. Nothing inappropriate, nothing skeevy. So there was never that problem of, he's parading his wife. Someone did make a cheeky comment once saying, oh, you want to, you showing off your wife? Are you all these pictures of your wife? And I'm like, well, number one, she's consenting. Number two, she wants to model anyway. And it's kind of like we're helping each other out.
Absolutely.
And then number three, none of your business. Do you know what I mean?
It's always one person.
None. Yeah. Mind your own business, sort of thing that we own, missus. But I think we got to respect each other's boundaries. And I think it doesn't have to be the extreme of revenge porn if you break up, someone posting an intimate picture, racy picture or video that was meant to be for your eyes only. Doesn't have to be that extreme. Or in this case, like with the whole Bianca and Kanye thing, where they've decided, mutually agreed to parade themselves. So it wasn't just that Grammys thing, but some photo shoots where it was a little bit on the racy side. In the moment, you might be cool, but then down the line, you're like, why did I do that? It's like when people get a tattoo of a boyfriend or girlfriend on their arm or leg or wherever, and it's like,
and when they break up and then they still got the person's name on.
It's there like for good.
Exactly. I mean, you can laser it up, but it doesn't totally go away.
They just morph an little flower on it.
Leading on is to focus on the genuine connections. Focus on the genuine connections, manufacturing content for social media.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Those genuine connections. Actually having the conversations. Put your phone down, unplugging, putting the phone down and just speaking to each other.
Now,
but that's hard. That's hard for some because if the person's boring, then there's no conversations.
It's dry. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead, isn't it?
Actually, there's these cards you can get on Amazon. Gets you talking.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're called talking
cards.
And it's got loads of
for people that don't know how to have a conversation anymore. It helps you out. Again, like with the problem I have with the Kanye and Bianca situation, just as a model example, is that people have assumed a lot of negative stuff about Kanye and his relationship. There's some negative stuff going on around Kanye, and largely that's his fault because of the way he puts it out, but we're not going there. But people have made assumptions that she's controlled, he's dominating her, he's making her do stuff, which could be the case, but I don't think it's fair to jump to that conclusion because at the end of the day, her sister apparently does similar stuff. Puts herself out there online, scantily dressed. It's like a thing. Maybe it's a family thing. I think the Kardashians didn't do bad for them, did it? So the idea that it's dominant, like, for example, you're a little bit more reserved or quieter than me.
Yeah.
I'm more the extrovert. People remember once we did a video long time ago when you were a bit quieter.
Oh yeah.
And there was a Facebook Live and someone said, "Oh, why don't you let your wife speak?"
And then you were like, "Well, this wasn't about her; it was about me." You think you're sharing your story.
That sounded bad the way you said that. What about her?
Okay, yeah, not in a bad way, but I mean,
it was a video I was doing about promoting my book.
Yeah, that's it.
And Jay was with me for moral support.
Yeah.
But someone said, "Oh, why don't you let your wife speak?" And it was like, well, number one, I don't control whether my wife speaks or not anyway. I'm not, she's her own person, like adult, duh. And number two, literally, she was there in the video for moral support because I was sharing some things that were quite emotional in regarding to my book. But that's the assumption, and we get it because even in person, over the years, because I'm a bit more an extrovert and you're a bit more introvert, and I'll be the talker, that some people have misconstrued it being that, oh, like I told you, right, say nothing.
For the whole time.
Yeah, just let me be
the
star and you'll be the sidekick.
Yeah, that's literally not true because all you were just sharing your information about your book, and I was just there.
Yeah, but just in general, people have thought that, huh?
Yeah, people have thought that in general, but I think what people see from the outside in, they don't live in our house. They don't know what it's like in our home. Obviously, you know me the best out of everyone else. People who see you out of our house, people who see me, only know me from a certain perspective. But then
you're just bogan then.
Yeah, they don't really know me. So you're the one that knows me the best. You see me like loud and goofy and all that way. Some people don't see that.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyway, I think what's to do with the point.
Anyway, yeah. We didn't get to that anymore.
They're like, yeah, and the team is loud and goofy.
Well, yeah.
How you, in terms of the dominance thing, it's like sometimes if one partner has a very kind of bold, out there, strong persona, and the other one is a bit more reserved, it can look a bit wonky, and it can give the impression that either it's a domineering woman or a domineering man. And I think the assumption is usually to the men. Like I remember watching Married at First Sight. Do you remember watching that one where there was a particular contestant who was very vocal and he was very blunt, and the woman who was the wife was also very vocal and would scream and shout at him, and he would tell her, "Don't talk to me like that." He'd be assertive. She could carry on very, very aggressive, but him just setting his boundaries and being sort of kind of like, "Don't talk to me like blah, blah, blah." He's like, oh, he's a scary man. He was a big guy as well. Big.
Remind me of the consistence.
You know, Alex. And,
right, okay.
Yeah, trying to know that. So there was a lot of assumption that because he's a big black guy, I don't know if there's a bit of a race dynamic. He's a big black guy. She's a white lady. Don't know if there's also a little bit of subtext of, oh, scary black man raising his voice, you know, because you can get that where somebody, because of being a minority, sometimes not making this a whole race thing or whatever, but sometimes you assert yourself in a way and it can come across as an aggressor. In this case, he's a very big, muscular kind of guy. But there was another guy who was white and big and muscular who apparently would throw plates up the wall and scream at his partner. And no one accused him of being an abuser and this and that. So
I definitely think that was a race thing because he was just being himself. And that's all you can be is yourself. You can't be no one else, can you? But it's like the other person, another guy, didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
So it's just an agenda.
Well, I just think it's kind of like when it comes to how you present yourself as a couple, people will have their presumptions based on a myriad of factors. If there's an age difference, if there's a cultural difference, if it's an interracial relationship, if it's this or that. People may, if one person in the relationship is more an exhibitionist and out there than the other, like with the Kanye situation, what if Bianca is an exhibitionist? And I've heard stuff that maybe she naturally throws herself out there for a certain physical attention. I mean, he has a type. Look at Kim Kardashian. She was always taking her clothes off. Why is it him? Because actually, you thought that. Tell me, why did you think necessarily that? Oh, he's controlling her.
Well, I did read something about it. He's controlling her. That he's think his story said that he like dominates, even control what she wears. Because I even heard that about King K dominates what he control what she would wear as well.
Yeah.
To public display. But you just don't know what's real to what, you don't know what's true to what's untrue.
Yeah.
Is whatever's reported. Because obviously different media outlets, say it from a different perspective as well.
And you make your relationship vulnerable. It may not be, people might not be covering your relationship like, CNN or whatever news outlet or Hollywood Reporter because you're not a celebrity, but your friends and your family will, your mates will, your work colleagues. People will judge your relationship based on what you put out there. So if you're putting out videos, if you're putting out pictures, posts, cryptic posts, I've seen people put their arguments on social media and whatever, then don't be surprised if people come back and have an opinion on your relationship because you've used social media to kind of like manipulate or control the relationship.
Yeah, I think we've
thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one too, because even like you can even use like reels now, stories and all sorts of things, and TikTok to put all sorts of things out. But I think for me, it's just too much airing your laundry basket in public. Far too much and too. Oh, again, it's overly sharing. You don't need to keep the privacy. Don't overly share. Just don't go into too much personal things. I think that goes on to letting online personas overshadow real relationship dynamics.
Yeah, meaning that you have a persona like T and J.
Yeah,
we are who we are. I mean, we are as, whether it's being goofy, whether it's being a bit like light-hearted or deeply serious. What you see with us is what you get. We don't have a screen persona. To quote Jennifer Lopez, I'm real, the way you talk.
That sounded bad.
Oh yeah, it's an old song as well.
Very old.
We don't have a fake persona, but maybe some couples do. Maybe, because you get a lot of couples who are like, you got like the Love Island stuff, you've got the social media relationships, the showmances, where even if they're real relationships, they're structured in a way to maximize attention for money.
Oh,
Yeah,
I get that one. Yeah, those sort of relationships, they're definitely not. They're fake because they just make it clear that this is what they want. At least they know telling what people what they want. They want the money. But how long is that gonna last? How long is that gonna last? Them doing that. It makes them look like kind of desperate as well. Obviously, got these brand deals now and everything, like the Love Island people.
Yeah,
people only go on there to get the brand deals anyway, especially the latest one, the All Stars one.
Yeah, there's no way that relationship. No way is that those relationships going to last. They'll last as long as the ad breaks.
The only ones that last, they're engaged now, aren't they? Sam and
Kai and Sanaa.
Yeah, but I had a feeling that was going to last anyway.
Yeah.
And they lived together as well. So that was, that's sweet.
Yeah.
But normally, a lot of them, they don't last.
And then that segues perfectly into when your relationship breaks up in the digital age. Breakups are messy at the best of times, but when you're blasting it all over social media, might not be that helpful. What do you think?
Helpful. No, I think you just got to be careful what you're sharing, just be cautious. Just be cautious what you're sharing, announcing relationship change online. You just got to just don't overshare.
Was it like when Facebook had that function you put, it's complicated, relationship?
That's gone now.
Is it gone?
Oh, have they still got it?
I don't know, I haven't seen it, but I just remember like it was a thing where people would put like,
oh, it's complicated. Oh, relationship, married.
Complicated.
What is that?
Like a situationship.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of in a relationship, kind of not in a relationship.
Yeah.
On and off.
Situationship. On and off.
That complicated, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of those these days. But I think just being cautious of doing those things, because also that gives out a certain vibe to people who are seeing that. And to be honest, it would probably be better not to even say anything. If that was me, I'd rather not put anything like that. I'll just leave it blank that bit. Because even for me going on Facebook, I know you were the one that got me into Facebook in the first place. I was always quite a private person. I am still.
Yeah, but don't make it sound like you never would have eventually got onto Facebook. We're talking about
saying
when it came out like 2007, like it's 2008. That I was talking about.
I don't think I would have been into it. I don't think I'd be on Facebook to this day. No, seriously.
If I never.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What? So am I controlling your relation? I'm the controlling one, dominating my relationship. Like what we just talked about. So basically, you basically say that I controlled you going onto Facebook.
I'm saying that
forcing me to go on Facebook.
You encouraged me. You didn't force. You encouraged me to go on there. And because obviously Facebook is more about people you know, connect with people.
Yeah.
But I don't think if it wasn't for you encouraging me, I don't think I'd be on there. Seriously.
Okay, I don't believe it.
Domineering and anything will dominate me. It was more about
yeah. I was just joking, but I was saying the way you said it was like,
no.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be on. What? Put a gun to your head and said, "You must go on Facebook or else."
And now I hardly even go on there.
Me neither.
And when I do go on there, it's just showing me like celebrities on there.
Yeah.
Because I don't obviously if you don't converse with people on Facebook now, it doesn't, because of the algorithm. It won't show you anyone you know. All of a sudden you're going through it, you're like, that's it.
So do you think it makes more sense to, if you have a breakup, rather than announce it to the world, because you'll see a lot of people do this.
Yeah.
They will vent on Facebook about their relationship breakups. They will talk about how messy the person was, or they will try and assassinate each other, which doesn't cause it isn't benefit to anybody. He's a no good so-and-so, she's no so-and-so. It'd probably be better just to seek support and help from trusted friends and family rather than going to social media for validation.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd agree, because you don't need to go on social media to vent like that, because not being funny, but people are going to tell you all sorts of things, like good and bad. The best person to go to would be to go through counselling and therapy, whatever you may call it, because I think family members are going to tell you one thing, your friends are going to tell you one thing, and then the people on Facebook, a lot of them you probably don't hardly speak to, or on Instagram or on TikTok. What's the point of that? What are you going to get out of that? That could have a make or break a relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a good idea to do that.
I mean, we've had rows before, and I can't imagine kind of like sharing that on social media, because once we've gotten over it and we've kissed and made up, other people are remembering the details and it's in their head. And, whether it's your people or my people, it becomes a team sport. Like, oh, I'm Team Jolene, I'm Team Tony. I don't like what he did, I don't like what she did. And then they start to divide you up because you open the door for their opinion. So don't do it. Don't make no sense.
So it's very easy for sometimes one person to be like, actually, maybe my mom knows what she said is true, then they can kind of like turn them against them. That's why you don't go to your family if you have serious problems in your relationship.
Because they're biased. Your family should be team you, which means that they should kind of be naturally more biased towards you, right? Which means that you are the hero in the situation almost unconditionally. And even though you may not be, they're not going to tell you necessarily, unless they're very wise. What did you do? What did you say? Maybe you could have done something different. Maybe you could have been a bit less antagonistic. Okay. They're just going to be, oh, what did he do? What did she do? Oh, leave her. Dump her. Dump him.
They're going to give you the right. They're going to then probably very likely not going to give you the right advice. So it's best to kind of leave them out of it. Don't tell them.
Yeah. When I think of our kids, particularly our daughters, unless it's a situation where there is abuse, whether verbal or physical. Like as a dad, I watched one clip from, I think, a show called Greenleaf that went on with someone posted on Instagram, where the daughter got married and the sister saw the groom slap her around the face. Spoilers! And the daughter come and told the dad in the actual wedding night day itself. And the dad was like, you put hands on my daughter. You put hands. And he's like, no, man. And he punched him. And I was like, don't advocate violence. I'm not saying I advocate violence, but if you're throwing hands on my daughter, we're getting into a dance. We're getting into, and it ain't going to be like fake wrestling, where it's like pretend fighting. So unless it's physical abuse or mental, emotional abuse, if you just having arguments and disagreements and whatever, leave me out of it.
Yeah,
because if it's my daughter or my son, we're gonna be biased to be on your side, and it might turn us off of your partner, because if you keep on telling us the negative things he or she is doing, that's naturally going to make us see him in a certain way.
that will get you. Yeah, that's going to get you back up.
If it's just normal husband and wife or partner disagreements, but because they keep telling you, you start having a negative opinion of their partner.
That's.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I was to say to my family, "Oh, and Jolene does this, and she said this, and she done that,"
that would turn.
So even if it's not like major.
Also, to add to that, it's nothing to do with them anyway.
No, it's not.
Rows and all sorts of issues. You don't go to your family.
Nope.
About your stuff. Oh yeah, this happened. And some people do that, but it's like you've just got to learn to close that chapter when you get with that person.
Yeah.
Whether you're married or not, because it's nothing to do with them. It's not their business.
Yeah. So,
I think that then leads us into the digital detox. This is my favorite part, actually. The digital detox. I think it's really important for couples because I'm going to share with you the concept of this digital detox in terms of turning off your phone, switching off all the notifications.
okay,
It's going to be a hard one for many.
Ooh.
I've done before. I've actually put my phone in the drawer before.
Put it in the drawer?
Yeah, I've actually put it away in the drawer.
Okay. That's an idea. That's a choice.
But then I did it again another time, and I was thinking, I wonder what emails I got. I wonder what notifications I've got.
Did you feel lonely? I feel FOMO City.
Yeah.
I wonder.
And there was that one time actually. I came to the hairdresser. Doesn't make one. Came to the hairdresser. My phone's about to die.
Yeah.
I called the Uber. I was going to your leaving do if you
okay.
where you used to work.
Is that why you were late?
Yeah, that's why I was late because then the Uber came just as I was about to. I think just about to get into it was letting me know where to find the Uber. My phone died.
Oh.
I called the Uber and then my phone died. So I didn't know where the Uber was, and then I had to go home on the bus and then go and charge my phone and then call another Uber. And then that's what's late.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh my gosh, my phone died. I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm locked out the matrix. What's going on?
Yeah. So what's that got to do with digital detoxing?
No, it's just a little.
It's a story. Okay.
It's a story. But sorry, just to segue back into the story, is that I explained the concept of the digital detox is turning off your phone, putting it away, being able to then reconnect again with your partner. It's really important, and I think the way
why is it important to her? What is the benefit of disconnecting together?
The benefits of disconnecting together is that you can then have a conversation. It can help to improve communication, which is really important.
Okay.
Because communication is, as we know, communication is the key.
Yeah. Tell me more.
In everything.
Mm-hmm.
Improve communication, because if you have got everything locked off, you're going to be laser focused on what. Well,
okay. That's theory.
It won't be, unless they're boring or something.
In theory, might just decide, I missed my phone already.
Yeah, go back to your phone and say, that would be rude.
Mm-hmm.
But then to be able to sit down and have maybe a conversation that you haven't had for ages, or getting things off your chest you wanted to tell them for a long time. Or maybe
like you're dumped.
That's
you're dumped.
If you're married, not gonna say, "Are you?"
You're divorced.
Yeah, that's not really nice. But or maybe like planning a trip away or something, or planning your goals, what you want to do in life together. There's a reason why you're together, right? Not to go just for the sake of
okay.
We're in a normal relationship anyway. It can also increase intimacy, which is important. And then
So what's increased intimacy? Like what?
Like boundaries. Put his boundaries in my head. Increased intimacy, like spending time. Like for me, quality time. That's my love language.
Okay.
Yours is acts of service, right?
Oh, you remember? That's good.
Just don't have.
That's good.
I've been with you for like 23.
Yeah.
But mine's quality time. So quality time is right up there for me.
Mhm.
But intimacy is really important.
Mhm.
To spend the quality time.
Yeah.
I prefer when you're not on your phone, like when we're sitting together. So
Yeah.
detoxing together is really important. Because if one detoxes and then one doesn't, that's going to be like, hello.
Yeah. Awkward.
So yeah, that's increased intimacy. And then number 3 is reduce stress and anxiety. Because obviously, if you're on X,
Mm.
then you're like, oh my gosh, what did that person say? What they comment? Oh, what's going on with that person now? So if you're both off it, you won't have to even think about that. If you're both detoxed, if you're both off socials, switched off your phone, whatever, you don't have to think about it.
Yeah. So I get with reduced stress and anxiety, I get that outside factors can agitate, especially if it's emails from work, or like I said, if you're on X and everyone's fighting and everything's World War III, and then you turn to each other and say, I'm angry, it's not you.
I've seen
but it feels and it's the
it with you at times.
Really?
Past Facebook and stuff, conversations.
Frustrated.
Phones out and you'll get. I'm sitting there with you. I've detoxed on my phone. I put it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Not on my phone. And I've seen you get
putting the world to rights, anger.
And the more the person back and forth, and you're getting involved.
Okay. I hear you out.
Yeah.
Now, these are my tips.
What's your tip
for implementing a digital detox? I'd say start with small time blocks. Okay. Example, during dinner. Because we all know that if you the more you make something very, I'm going to use a big word, gargantuan, big. Oh, look at me.
No. What?
The more you make something like this real big mission, it's going to be difficult to stick to it. So start small. Small time blocks. So maybe for the 1 hour or so at dinner time, my phone is going to be in that drawer or locked somewhere or just on the table. Start there. Start with a small dinner.
Yeah.
And from there, you work your way up. So, Rome was not built in a day. Small increments, small. So, and then I think the second point of my tips is plan engaging activities offline together, offline activities. So if you're just going to say no phone, but then what? You're just going to sit and stare at each other. I don't care how loving you are, with how lovey-dovey you get. If you're just going to be staring at each other and like a gommel, nothing to say, it's not going to be much fun, is it? If you plan an activity, so we're not going to be on the phone, we're not going to be on the Facebook, the X, or whatever, watching endless YouTube videos. We're going to go out for a meal, or we're going to go bowling, or we're going to go for a walk around the block. We're going to do something activity-wise that means that we're not thinking the whole time, where's my phone? Because, if you put the phone somewhere in the room, say in the middle of the coffee table in the middle of the room, we're just sitting there, and we're both thinking, I really want to pick up my phone. So it's there, and you're not on it, but your heart is on it. You're thinking about it. It's not here, but it's here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not in the hand, but it's in your mind. So I think that's an area where going out with an activity means that you're completely, taken off it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been so in tune with our phones for so long. I've had an iPhone since, 2000, early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
We've been plugged into this matrix for ages. And that's the whole agenda. They wanted people to do that. It's an agenda they set up. It sounds like,
where's your tin hat? Conspiracy theory. Tin hat.
You set up that people can be antisocial.
Anyway.
Unless
we go Alex Jones. So I would say my final tip is to create a reward system for successful detox periods. So it's like, yes, I did a whole 1 hour without checking, scrolling my phone, without going on Instagram. 1 hour without the gram. Yeah, well done. Here goes. Yay. Pop up. And then it'll go maybe 2 hours you celebrate. And by a whole night, you're dancing in the street, having a street party in your honour because you took you put your phone down. So I think that's pretty cool.
I think you're going to ask me what I think about this.
What do you think?
But yeah, I think
my tips.
like your tips actually, but starting with small time blocks, I think over dinner, putting it down is a good idea actually. Because to be honest, you don't need your phone while you're eating dinner anyway.
No.
You know why you're going to check X while you're doing your dinner? Or you're eating your dinner, sorry?
Yeah.
You're going to check that Facebook message. Actually, yesterday, to be honest, I did check WhatsApp during dinner. Because my friend messaged me.
That's not good, is it? That's 3 people you're having dinner with. Meant to be just between us, our thing, and you're okay, but continue.
Okay.
Continue contradicting our tips.
But so you make mistakes and you be better another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the one where you said plan engaging offline activities together, because that's really important. Because as you said, what's the point of having your phone away from you, but then you've got what you're going to do then? Just sit there?
Yeah.
So it's good to plan what you're going to do.
You're staring each other's eyes lovingly until you're bored.
Go on a ski trip, or you plan those fun activities. Maybe have a book club or something.
Yeah.
Something quite creative and something really rewarding as well. Talk about reward actually. I remember you said creating a reward system for successful detox periods. That's a good idea. Like say, I put my phone down for 5 hours. Time, isn't it? 5 hours on the phone. Wow. I'll be thinking, boy, how much emails am I going to have now? Ding, ding, ding. Well, that's the thing though, isn't it? If you're away from your phone for 5 hours, you might miss, like if you need to respond to an email or something, you might miss being able to respond. Because that office hours, someone's not away and then you respond. But then I guess you can schedule it to send it the next day. So I've been using it a lot lately.
Yeah.
Scheduling email.
Scheduling.
Yeah. And here's an exercise I want you to do. Yeah. Could you do it? Do you think you can do it?
I have faith.
You can do it. Take 30 seconds right now. Turn your phones off. Turn all your notifications off on your phone.
Not right now, while we're listening to us.
Right now, because
you're listening to us on your phone.
Yeah, but when you come off this video, just take 30 seconds after this video and turn off all your notifications and see what happens. Yeah. See how that feels? Like turn it off for like 2 hours or something. Put it in a drawer and then see how that goes. I think it's really going to help your relationship as well, for sure.
And I'll say this: try. I know this is a big one. Try a 2-hour phone-free night this week. I know, but wait, hold it. Those 2 hours could be the best spent 2 hours you've had in a long time. You can reconnect. You can share what's on your heart, like Jay said earlier. You can plan some future things. Just 2 hours of phone-free bliss, so you can get connected again. Maybe spend those 2 hours somewhere where you are out and about, maybe romantic meal or just cheeky Nando's, whichever's your fancy. But just make sure you commit to those 2 hours. Try it once and thank us later.
You'll get used to it as well, though. Seriously. And the importance of being present. Can you imagine, like, with your partner for those 2 hours without no phones, and both of you with no phones? You're not going to be sitting in London thinking, let me just go to my messages, because your phone's going to be off anyway, unless you sneakily want to go to the toilet underneath the table.
Yeah, like that. Be like this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, dear. Yeah.
If that happens, that's more because we're so used to being plugged in the matrix anyway. It's almost like it's learnt behavior. We have to check our phone. We have to check the Gmail. We have to check the Yahoo. And we have to chimp away at the scrolling TikTok.
Now, if you've done this, drop us a line and let us know if this tip worked or it sucked. If it worked for you, maybe you can post something on our social media, T&J Digital Detox Challenge. How about that? Hashtag, and let us know. And if it worked, spread the word, send us a little tip, and thank us later.
I think it'll work for them. I think it'll work. If it worked for us, it'll work for them. And then the next one, what we can do, if you post those in our comments, we can actually then use your stories in our next episode of T&J.
Yeah, that's an incentive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Might be famous. So, Lady Jo, you want to summarise the key takeaways of what you've learned through the social media?
I think definitely the key
challenges
of social media, I think, would be not to overshare, definitely. No oversharing.
Don't do that. No oversharing.
No oversharing. Keeping the boundaries. Set those boundaries between you, and then keep them. You've got to have a conversation as well. Communication is the key. You've got to have that conversation first in order to execute that really well. Otherwise, that could cause resentments, breakups, and other things. Divorces, which would be worse because obviously you're married. And obviously if you have kids as well, that causes problem.
Broken family.
Yeah, broken families, and we don't want that. I also think keeping the privacy as well, being careful what you post, talk to your spouse, talk to your partner what you want to post and what you feel comfortable with. And definitely a digital detox is a big one, is to keep that up and keep it going. Because I think that the key takeaway for that is just being present, and I think it's really important, because I don't think enough people are present these days offline.
And I think, if you want to have an amazing relationship full of passion and fire and fireworks and longevity and all that good stuff, maybe live it in real life rather than online. Maybe keep some things personal and sacred, so you don't have a menage a trois, menage a 12, menage a 20 people in your relationship all having a say in what you do, how you conduct it, because you've opened the door to let them in. You might like the idea of the whole polyamorous thing, having multiple people in a relationship. But if you are like us, old-fashioned, and you like a one-to-one relationship, one person, one couple, then don't allow the multitudes into your relationship through the back door by letting them in on social media, letting them see every intimate picture, every intimate message, every high, every low, and particularly, anything that you do behind closed doors, whether it's consensual or non. I wouldn't advise it. I say keep your personal business your personal, and that is the key to a healthy relationship. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's some good tips on advice to the audience.
Fantastic.
Yay.
Mistakes, we've made a few, but we've not posted them online. We ain't got no secret videos and leaks and pictures of us online. You have to go deep into, not even deep in dark web. We ain't need it. You won't find it. So we can sleep at night, can't we? Because we're
not having to scrub away.
Yeah. What's that song? Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Yeah. I've been T.
And I'm Jay.
And go and love each other.
Come on.
Without a phone.
You can do it.
You can do it.